Let me see my official time here. Everybody turn off your cell phone. According to this, I have 3 minutes. I guess that clock's playing.
I'm Janet Kramer with the League of Women Voters, and our membership is very sparse. There's about 6 or 7 of us that do this, and this league has been in business since 1948, but we really need help. We have the announcements on the back table, the registrations that you can join us. We don't have very many meetings. The main thing we do is put out the candidates night, the candidates bulletin. We weren't going to actually do it this fall because there aren't that many candidates and there aren't that many league members. But at the last meeting, this one lady showed up, said she would help Sue with it. So we are going to get it out, but we don't have it for tonight. We hope to have it in the future at the library, so you can look for it. It should be there. The league consists of 3 related nonpartisan nonprofit organizations, the national, state, and local. Members joining a local league automatically become a member of all 3 organizations. Our mission statement is the League of Women Voters of Geauga County is to promote political responsibility through informed and active participation of citizens in government, also with newsletters, meetings, and forums. The National League studies national issues, lobbies for federal government, and informs its members through its bi-monthly magazine, The National Voter. The State League studies issues, lobbies our state government, and informs members through its quarterly newsletter, The Ohio Voters. All 3 organizations also perform information online at their websites. So we welcome any of you to join us. And you don't have to be that active in it. You can be on the email program so you can get these emails and find out what's going on. My theory about government is if you don't participate and vote, don't complain. And you are probably the people that do participate, so get your friends and neighbors to come. I want to thank the Senior Center for having us tonight and also for providing the refreshments. I recruited Ron Cottman to pass the little jug around for contributions. This helps to pay for our newsletters, so that will be going around. You can start it now, Ron. He's the township trustee from Chesterland, but he's not up for re-election right now. Denise is going to be conducting the candidates night tonight. So I would go over the rules and then she will take over. The rules are, first the issues, then the candidates, and you speak only about yourself. No comments about your opposition. You have 3 minutes for each speakers, and you watch for the signs of the timer. I am the timer. See, we don't have too many people here. So if you see there's 30 seconds, that means you have 30 seconds. And if you see done, you can quit in mid-sentence. The questions and answers will follow each group. Keep them short. No speeches, please. 1 minute allowed for answers. Reminder, speak into the microphone. Do not drift away. And GTE is filming it, so it will be shown. Do we have any idea when? Next week. Next week? Okay. Denise Kaminsky.
I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight, and thanks for having us with the Senior Center to promote our government, our local government. Janet is tough, so when she does show you that 30-second sign, or when she shows the done sign, you please really will need to sit down. Again, want to remind you, you're here to promote yourself and yourself only. One thing I would like to ask is whenever a candidate is asked a question, if that candidate could please repeat the question for GTV. If they do not repeat the question, it will not be able to be taped, and no one will know what the question is when the answers are answered. So I would really appreciate if you would do that. Is there anybody who did not sign in? I think what we'll do, we will start with the issues first. I just want to say, as the League of Women Voters Guide is being printed, going to press, State Issue 1 has yet to receive the required number of petition signatures to be placed on the ballot. So we're really not sure whether that will be on or not. I don't believe it will be, but at this time we're really not sure. Would the first person like to come up who is going to speak about an issue?
She's ready. Okay. My name is Deborah O'Connor. I'm Director of Geauga County Public Library. We are the first of 2 countywide issues on the ballot. We are issue 30. I'm going to give you a brief background of the library's levies. I'm going to tell you why we need the levy, and I'm going to ask for your help. The library passed its first ever levy in 1991, a 1 mil levy for support of the library. Most library funds that support the Geauga County Public Library and all libraries in Ohio come from state government. So the initial purpose since the early 1900s was that the state would support libraries. In the last few years, more and more libraries have had to go to their local constituents in order to provide excellent library service. So we first came to you in 1991, which was 16 years ago. That 1 mil levy held us very well during the 90s, and in the year 2000 we started to get really tight again. So we replaced that levy in 2002. We have now been frozen by the state legislature since 2001. We have gone 6 years with no increase in funds. And that means that the money that our library got in February 2001 is the same that we got in February 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we asked people to imagine the last 6 years if there was no increase in their income at all, and they had to buy more gasoline for their vans and buy more books that cost more money and pay for health care for their employees and do all the things that all of us have to do with utilities with absolutely no more money from the state. That's our situation. This is a replacement levy. We are asking you to take it back up to the 1 mil that was replaced in 2002. The 2002 replacement levy, of course, took it back up to 1 mil from 1991. It has gone down now again to 0.8 mils. You all understand that millages get rolled back every year in order for taxpayers to spend no more money on a levy they pass in the future years than they did in the first year. In fact, most of you, all of you, are paying less for the library than you paid when it was passed in 2002. You're paying 8/10 of what you paid then. The cost of this levy, to replace it back up to 1 mil, is $6 a year for every $100,000 of value. So if you have a $1 million home, it will cost you $60 more a year. If you have the typical home in Geauga County, and the average home in Geauga County is $222,000, I find that hard to believe, $222,000 home will cost you just over $13 more a year, or we figure about $1 a month, the cost of one pizza a year for our levy. We feel it's inexpensive, it's necessary. We really are at the crossroads. If you believe in the library, love the library, and use the library, you need to love this levy, because we're at the point now where we are cutting back on our services. We've cut back on our book budget by over $250,000 in the last 3 years. We thank you for your support, and if you can help us, on the back I have lots of sign-ups to take signs and to help us in any way you can, to take a button. I know you all love the library. Thank you. I'm sorry I went a little over. Any questions? Fine. I think the other issue is going to speak now, and I'm going to sit up here and we'll take all questions for issues at one time. Thank you, Denise.
One other courtesy I'd like to ask, if you have cell phones, please turn them off. Vicki Clark for the Geauga County Mental Health and Recovery Board.
I'm the lady with the yellow signs. We are also asking for replacement of our levy. It's a 5-year levy. It's only a $500,000 levy. The increase will be about $1.72 per 100,000. If you look at the average home, it would be under $4 a year increase in your taxes to replace this. Where this will bring us is in 5 years, we're still going to be behind. There's been a flat budget at the state. There's changes in the way we do our the home taxation, and so we are actually going to be about $250,000 behind when we come 5 years down the road. I think the one thing I want to express is what this little bit of money does. We are a small community, but we have an incredible continuum of services in mental health, and you don't recognize or see our agencies until you need them, and when you need them now. It's urgent. There's a crisis in your home. We offer things for a full range of, you can call our COPE line, which is a hotline if you're just feeling depressed and blue and need somebody to talk to, all the way up to, we fund putting medically indigent people in state hospitals if they're having a severe psychotic break or if they're so severely depressed they become suicidal. We serve children as young as 3, their parents younger than that, up to senior citizens. We offer partial hospitalization and counseling. We offer individual, family, groups. We serve adolescents who have drug and alcohol issues that need, help now so that they can go on to be productive members of society. I guess I just want to ask you to support that because it's a wonderful system, and otherwise as people are in our jails and on our streets, and when it's a crisis, it's a crisis. Thank you.
Any other issues? Okay, do you have any questions for either one of these ladies?
Anybody with a sign? Would you be willing to take a sign and support that?
Thank you very much.
She also has, there's some literature on the back table on these 2 issues. Next, I'm going to invite Keith McClintock from Hampden Township. He is running for Hampden Township trustee.
Good evening. Thank you, Denise. My name is Keith McClintock, and I'm running for Hampden Township trustee. I'm a relatively new face in Hampden, and I say relatively new because I've been involved locally, having served on the Hampden Zoning Commission going on my 4th year now. And I think new is good, especially at our time in the township. I feel that I can bring fresh ideas, energy, commitment, experience, and a fresh perspective to the position of Hampden trustee. I am willing to put in the time needed to do this position justice, and I am an independent thinker. I have worked for Geauga County for over 12 years now in leadership both at Geauga Soil and Water Conservation District and at Geauga Park District. In that time, I have developed close and professional working relationships with our county department heads. That is not to say that we have not had our disagreements from time to time. However, we have always treated each other with mutual respect and in a professional manner. There has never been a time when I couldn't cross departmental lines, shake hands, and work together for mutually beneficial results. I know that I can restore broken relationships with honesty, respect, and credibility. I will look at all issues with an open mind, put an end to the good old boy network, and base decisions on what is best for Hamden Township. However, my decision to run was also based on the many good things to take pride of in Hamden Township. As a member of the Hamden Audit Committee for the past year and a half, I've seen firsthand that the township monies are being wisely managed and spent. Hamden is a lean running township. You can rest assured that I will continue to be a good steward of our township's financial resources, making sure that our dollars continue to be spent wisely. Our road department, headed by David Heald, is doing a very good job of maintaining our roads and ditches and plowing our snow during our long winters. They are a crew that takes pride in Hamden and care about our appearance. And our volunteer fire department, headed by Chief Hildenbrand, and over 35 dedicated volunteers, work tirelessly to protect our homes and to care for our citizens when emergency services are needed. And our township parks are an envy of many a township. However, with the good come challenges. I was reading in the News Herald last week with the two candidates that one of them stated that Hamden Township is the best kept secret in Geauga County. However, I hate to inform people that Hamden is no longer a secret. Hamden Township is the second fastest growing township in Geauga County. And with the new hospital being constructed in Concord, that growth will continue in the near future. The leaders in Hamden Township must come to this awareness and start planning now for how and where we want this development to go. I plan on convening a committee to update the Hamden Comprehensive Land Use Plan. We need to evaluate if the existing density of residential development can be sustained by the physical limitations of our land, look to balance residential and commercial growth, and work with our local farmers to ensure that farmland is preserved and viable in the future. In closing, I look forward to facing the challenges and issues in Hamden Township and working for all residents of our community. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Billy Cleve. She's running for fiscal officer for Hamden Township.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for giving us this chance to let the community know our concerns and our qualifications for office. I am running for fiscal officer because I am more qualified and professional. I pledge to save the taxpayers more money than my annual salary. I will provide complete and accurate disclosure of the township records. I have been a Hamden resident since 1971. I am married and have two lovely daughters, and I have been very involved in the community. I have been with the Hamden Grange for 4 years. I have participated in the Hamden Bardstown Dash and the Park at Market. I belong to the Geauga County Township Association, the Geauga County Agriculture Society, and a member of Grace Lutheran Church. I am more experienced because I have been running the Middlefield License Bureau as one of the Ohio Deputy Registrars for the last 16 years, and I have had 4 awards, one being the best in state, and I'm very proud of that. I was the Geauga County Fair Treasurer for 7 years, and we handled a budget of over $1 million, so I am used to working with money. I know what accounts are, I know what auditing procedures are. I had very clean audits when I was the Fair Treasurer. I was also the Junior Fair Junior Fair Coordinator for 9 years. I loved working with the kids, and I really enjoyed it. I was also Chardon Municipal Court Clerk for 7 years. I computerized the criminal division of the court. I also worked on the computerization of the fair. And I have been involved with Hamden Township zoning. I was the administrator for zoning, and I also was on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I would appreciate your consideration in November, and when you mark your little over, please mark for Billy Cleve, Hamden Township Fiscal Officer. Thank you.
I don't believe there's anybody here else running for any position in Hamden. Does anybody have any questions for either one of these, this young lady or this young man? No questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Please run.
Would you be in favor of a joint recreation district, possibly with the city of Chardon and the other townships that form the Chardon School District?
The question is, would it be in favor of doing a joint recreational district with Chardon and some of the other local townships? Certainly, I think there's merit in looking at such opportunities. In every community, we have many children that are competing for ball fields, for soccer fields, and there's just not enough to go around. And it's very expensive ventures for individual townships or municipalities to put in such facilities. I think there is great merit in looking at joint areas where we can spread the cost and keep the cost down for such facilities by spreading that cost throughout the various communities.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. They did a great job.
Thank you.
Next, Chardon School Board, we have Blake Greer. And is there anybody else from Chardon School Board here? Please come up at this time.
Good evening. My name is Blake Greer, and I'm a candidate for the Chardon School Board. First, let me thank the League of Women Voters and the Department of Aging for this opportunity to speak to you this evening. As I said, I am a candidate for the Chardon School Board. I am completing my first term in this position. When I ran before, I made no effort to hide my personal agenda, nor will I this time. Open, honest, and fair. These are my goals or agenda. Everything I've done in the last 3+ years has had to pass that test. And all things done in the future must pass this. I believe that we must provide the best education to our children that the community will support. And we must do this within our budget. Having said that, we must all understand that the cost of operating the schools will continue to grow. As the operating costs increase, we will need to go back to the voters for additional funding. Therefore, it is important that the board spend your money wisely. I believe my record supports this and ask you for your vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Where is the state at on the restructuring of funding schools in Ohio?
Good question. Where is the state at in the restructuring of funding of the schools in Ohio? The answer is, I do not know. They've been told on 4 occasions, that the funding was not constitutional. The courts ruled on that. They have yet to come up with an adequate funding formula, and in my opinion, they change the rules so frequently that we have difficulty in formulating a local plan. I mean, an example is the elimination of the tangible personal property tax a couple of years ago. When in the greater Chardon area, we but the city council allowed the Walmart, the Meadowlands development to come in. We mostly thought we'd be getting done. We didn't get the money we thought we'd get.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jim Dvorak from running for Burton trustee. Do we have anybody here? Anybody else from Burton Township? Come on up.
I'd like to thank the Senior Center and the League of Women Voters for having this evening possible. This is the first time I've ever run for public office, and I just feel it's time for me to get more involved. My name's Jim Dvorak, and I've been going door to door. I met a lot of great people. Shook hands with about 900 people right on the front porch. If elected to Burton Township trustee, I would like to preserve the Burton way of life by protecting our rural atmosphere, giving you the most value for your tax dollar, getting back to the basics with an eye to the future. I know what hard work is all about because I'm a second generation bricklayer, and I'm now employed as a marketing representative for the district council. I've lived in Geauga County for nearly 24 years and have purchased my present home 4 years ago. My wife and I have been married for 32 years this last month. We have 4 adult children. They all went to college. Our youngest one is a sophomore at Akron U. And we have a granddaughter. I've been actively supportive and involved in the community activities, such as Burton Middlefield Rotary, been a trustee for the Geauga County Veterans Memorial, been a trustee for a health plan valued at $12 million a year. I'm one of 6 people that manages $12 million annually. And been a 4-H advisor. I'm in Geauga County Historical Society member, Red Simmons Memorial Committee member, and I'm a member of the Geauga County Impact Steering Committee. But to focus on the priorities, one of the things I want to focus on is to help create solutions to help all the residents in Burton Township by getting back to the basics with an open communication policy and listen to their needs and concerns. One of the things I'd like to implement in the first 6 months is a 1-page annual report sent to Burton residents. Things that the township trustees have done in the last 6 months and realistic goals that we want to do in the next 6 months. And on the bottom, just tell the people when the meetings are. And one of the items that I will address is the roads in the township. Safety of the residents is number 1. After we maintain our roads and repave them, I'm in favor of a study to lower the speed limit and implement some 4-way stops at some intersections. I will be proactive to prevent accidents in Burton Township. We have quite a bit of Amish in our community, and that is part of the fabric of Geauga County. Protecting our rural atmosphere is also a top priority. I would work with the Burton Zoning Board and Commission to ensure our standards preserve the Burton way of life. Being an experienced trustee for 25 years, with assets of over $12 million, I feel that I can serve the residents with the most value for their tax dollars. Thank you.
Any questions for Jim?
Thank you.
Next, we have David Snively from Newberry Township running for trustee, and I believe we have another candidate, Robert Ruxton. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Sorry. Would you like to come up also, please?
Good evening. I'm David Snively. I'm one of 3 candidates for the open trustee position in Newberry Township. In 1994, after a fairly successful 30-year career at Sohio and then BP, my wife and I decided it was time for a change. No, not a divorce, just a change. We moved to Newberry and we bought a farm. As you might imagine, from corporate America to raising sheep in Newberry was a big, big change indeed, but we've never regretted it for a minute. We like living in Newberry. So why do I want to be a trustee after all this? Over the past 10 years, I think all of us in Newberry have seen, as trustees have come and trustees have gone, we've seen some ups and downs. Some were good and some were not so good. But one of the nice things about living in a community the size of Newberry is you get the opportunity to get involved if you want to. And I did. You don't have to just sit there wondering what's going on. You can go find out. I attend, and I have for many, many years, most every trustee meeting. I'm missing tonight's, but I've got a friend there. And I pay close attention to what's going on. In some cases, a serious issue pops up, and if it's something that I think I can help with, I get involved. It's one of the nice things that's come with retirement. You get the time to do this sort of thing. While I don't have time, obviously, to go over all that's happened in Newberry in the last 10 years, I would like to comment on what's going on right now. I believe very strongly that the current trustees have been doing a very good job of focusing on what's really important. For the past 2 years, they have significantly reduced some key costs of operating the township while continuing to provide the service that the residents desire and deserve. An example of this was workers' compensation. It was forecast to go through the roof. In fact, they managed to bring it down. During the same time, several new businesses have chosen Newbury as the place they want to locate, and we welcome them. This is good for all of us, but it doesn't happen by itself. The trustees have worked hard, and it's paid off for everybody. Glenn Quigley has decided that he is not going to run for re-election, and that's why I'm here. I believe what he and the other trustees have done over the past 2 years is important for the future of Newbury and to continue. That's what I plan to do and why I'm running for trustee. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bobby Ruxtel. I'm a rookie candidate. I am running for trustee in Newbury, and basically I have three positions or issues that I think are important to Newbury at this time. The first is growth and development. Newbury is poised in a very good position, location-wise, and with ample both residential and industrial commercial development. The second is the continued growth of public parks and areas, which includes a town center which has been talked about and debated for a number of years. I've been in Newbury as a resident since 1996. I am married, have a wonderful wife who I work with. We moved our office into Newbury because we had an opportunity to spend more time in the community and work together. I believe that Newbury has a ton of potential for people coming in. The city, the township itself has a very stable control in government. The third issue would be maintaining fiscal responsibility. We have a tremendously low tax rate that's very inviting for both residential and commercial development. To read more about my issues and what I'd like to do for this township, you can go to my website, www.voterux.com. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for either one of these gentlemen?
This question is for both gentlemen. You have spoken on promoting commercial and industrial growth. How do each of you plan to promote this? How do you plan to do this? It's been on the board for many years and has not yet really taken hold.
I could repeat the question. The question is, how do we plan on, how does the new trustee plan on developing commercial growth in the community? I'm in the mortgage industry in multiple phases. I've been an appraiser, I've been a mortgage broker, and owned a title company. I have a vast resource of relationships throughout Northeast Ohio, throughout the state actually. So part of what I bring to the table is the ability to bring some of the relationships that I have with developers and industry. Some of the things that we're going to be facing are to decide what we want to do about a sewer district. We have the 208 plan in place, and sewers are a taboo. I've been told in my campaign that that's the last word I want to be able to talk about. But on the 87 corridor, we can put a limited sewer base in. We have land available behind Connecticut that can be developed into industrial commercial development. It's bringing people into our community that are going to respect that we're a clean, green community. We want to maintain lot sizes, etc.
The first place I think we need to start is where we are. And where we are is we don't have a plan. When you look at an opportunity any opportunity. I think the most important thing to do is to weigh it against your plan and see, in the overall, is this good or is this bad? If it's good, we ought to do it. If it's bad, we shouldn't. And right now, we really don't know. We have an empty store or an empty restaurant, and someone says, should it continue to do that and be that? And say, I don't know, because I don't have the plan that it fits in with. What I would first think we need to do is get a plan developed and share it with the community, gather the community views, and particularly the existing business members of our community's views, and let's establish what is it we want Newbury to look like 10 and 20 years from now, and then get our plan in place for how do we get that done. That's my thought.
Any other questions?
No other questions? Thank you very much, gentlemen. Next person is Andrew Blakely from Chardon City Council, and we have Robert Cromwell from Chardon City Council, and Philip King from Chardon City Council. Anybody else? Please come up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Blackley. I'm often called Blakely, but I'll take that. I am running for re-election in Chardon City Council. I have been a lifelong Geauga County resident. I was born and raised in Chesterland. My wife Debbie and I have resided in the city of Chardon for the last 22 years. We have our 3 daughters that graduated from Chardon High School, and my son Andrew is currently in Chardon Middle School. My past experience has been with city government. I've been on council since 2004 when I replaced Richard Kovacs, who passed away unexpectedly. At that time, I was on the Chardon Planning Commission. I joined the Planning Commission in 2000. Prior to that, my involvement in the city of Chardon started in 1991 when I was on the Public Power Committee. After that, I was appointed the village engineer, and I was also the village engineer in Middlefield. Currently, I'm a professional civil engineer and the president of Stephen Vancic and Associates. I'm also the city engineer in the city of South Euclid and the city of Highland Heights. So I bring to my office, I think, a great deal of professional experience in both municipal government and particularly in infrastructure planning. And currently, that's my expertise. And I've been in the past, I've been on the Water and Sewer Committee, and I am the chairman now of the Water and Sewer Committee, which I pledge to continue to plan and guide the renewal of our city's infrastructure in accordance with our capital plan, while minimizing to the maximum extent possible the costs of taxpayers and property owners. As those who are familiar with Chardon may know, we've been burdened with a number of federal EPA requirements, most lately for a water treatment plant that has cost the city dearly. We are currently undertaking a sewer rate study, and if possible, I will intend to reduce our water and sewer rates. I introduced into the city a homestead exemption for the water and sewer rate to help the elderly and the disabled to defray the cost of our water and sewer rates, which unfortunately are among some of the highest in the state. That's been historical truth because we are a small community. In 2004, when I was first appointed to the Water Committee, I was instrumental in changing the scope of the project, which saved the residents a amount of money. One of the things that I will pledge to do is to make sure that the government in our city is managed to maintain small town values and lifestyle, and most importantly, I want to try to avoid the introduction of partisan politics into our city, which I think unfortunately is beginning to harm us. It has never been that way in the past, and I think we should avoid it.
You're done. Stand that one.
Even though I printed it in very big letters, I still need my glasses. Good evening. My name is Bob Cromwell. I'm the rookie running for Chardon City Council. For the past 32 years, my family and I have lived in our home at 120 Huntington Street, just one block off of Chardon Square. My wife of 34 years, Kathleen, and I have raised 2 daughters who attended the Chardon schools, where they received marvelous educations and graduated at the tops of their classes. Our firstborn, Colleen, is now a physical therapist running her own office in Pittsburgh, and our younger daughter, Molly, is in her 3rd year of teaching science at the high school level. Both are now gone and married. The house is a lot quieter. My background is in manufacturing, business management, and sales engineering. A lot of time with finance, and hope to bring those skills to the position of councilman. I've also served on the Chardon Shade Tree Commission for the last 20 years or so since it was formed. I formerly was a volunteer football coach at St. Mary's School for 9 years, and I'm my 20th year or more helping out with the yard market chain crew, which Hilltopper home games. Go Toppers, by the way. So why am I here tonight? Sometimes I ask myself the same question. I'm not a polished politician, not even a good public speaker. I don't have visions of ever being mayor. I'm simply here because I believe we live in a very special place. I'm passionate in my belief that we need to protect what we have. Having traveled most of the world on business, I can truthfully say that Chardon is right up at the top of the great places to live. Enjoy a great small town atmosphere, large town services, unique architecture, a great school system. I could go on, but each one of you who lives in Chardon can also add to the list, I'm sure. My children now grown, I have some time to myself, and I feel I have a responsibility to become involved to help Chardon stay the same place that it is for generations to come. It strikes me that although the challenges are very real, the guiding premise is really quite simple. By answering the question, what's best for Chardon, we will succeed in guiding our future. This unique place we call home will be nurtured, guided, prepared for the future so we don't lose what's so special. Proper planning, development, within the law and without tax abatements is a part of a successful strategy. While we plan for that future, at the same time, council must remain sensitive to the needs of the current citizens. Affordability, quality of life are keys to our day-to-day happiness. Balancing growth and mandated expenditures with affordability is a challenge. It'll take hard work, and I look forward to that. So there it is, folks. I'm not going to stand in front of you and throw rocks at the majority of the council. And I'm done.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Phil King, and I'm asking the voters to re-elect me to Chardon City Council. And I want to thank the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I have been a resident of Chardon for all of my 55 years. I was born and raised here. I have one daughter, Stacy. She graduated from Chardon. My 2 youngest daughters are also attending Chardon. I have, in fact, myself graduated from Chardon High School. I've been serving on council since 2004, and I've had the pleasure of serving City Council as its Vice President and Vice Mayor. And I've worked very well with City Council and the Mayor. During that period of time, I've served on the Planning Commission. I've also served on the Water, Sewer, Safety, and Service Committee. And during that period of time, I think I've demonstrated a strong insight and the ability to make good quality decisions for the residents of Chardon to help us maintain the wonderful community that we currently have. I have a degree in law. I currently practice law with the firm of Schraff & King Company in Willoughby, and I also have a master's degree in business administration. So I believe I bring a considerable amount of experience to Chardon City Council, and I have over the past 4 years, I believe, used that to benefit the city residents and the voters. I also have spent 29 years prior to retiring as a public servant, starting with the Geauga County Department of Job and Family Services and retiring the Assistant Director of Portage County Department of Job and Family Services. So government is not something that I am not familiar with. Over the past 4 years, I have worked very hard to help us develop a strong, comprehensive plan that is a blueprint for us in the future, maintain the original Chardon quality, but also providing expanded services and improve what we now have and to make it a better community. My
children live there, I plan on living there the rest of my life, and I plan on making it a wonderful place for me. While being on the service committee, we have done several highway and road improvement projects, with the one that's currently being developed on the square, the two-way traffic, all in an attempt to make Chardon a safer and better community for us to travel in and live in. I've also been a very strong supporter of expanding our park systems, and I, like Andy, was very supportive of the rate survey study that is currently in place that Andy has brought before us and will bring to the city of Chardon. I also supported Andy's bid to give reduced water sewer rates to the seniors, because we do need to be, very sensitive to that. I worked very aggressively and hard to keep the county offices here. I think that was successful and mutually beneficial to everybody, and I will continue to work to expand our park systems, work within our comprehensive plan, all to make Chardon a wonderful place to stay. Thank you.
Any questions for any of these gentlemen?
I was wondering what their priority in spending our limited funds
For each candidate or for one individual?
for each one.
I think my priority is to, all right, the question was, what is our priority in spending Chardon's funds? My priority is going to be in spending the money to reduce, or should increase efficiency in the city. Phil alluded to the work that the service committee has done. I was on that committee myself at one point, and I heartily endorse the idea of increasing traffic efficiency in the city to eliminate truck traffic on the square. That's the purpose of the two-way truck traffic, two-way modifications that are being made on either end of the square right now. So my top priority is to maintain the infrastructure in the city of Chardon so that we can all enjoy the quality of life that we've had in the past, and to make Chardon more attractive and more and a better community for all of us.
I find it hard to improve upon what Andy's already said, except to say that above and beyond improvements in traffic movement around town, we also have to be aware that as development is brought into town, it's going to put more and more load upon other services. We have to be careful with the money that the city spends as with the money we ask the developers to spend. Certainly there will be costs associated with every new development. There always is, but we have to make sure that we bring every dollar we can on the developer.
My goal is to spend your money as carefully as I spend mine. I think we've demonstrated doing that because we have spent of the 2% the 2% income tax that we receive, we're spending almost half of that additional revenue to keep your water rates down. It's a significant decision for council. We will work aggressively to make sure you spend your money wisely for road projects and to implement the comprehensive plan to make sure that good quality homes and businesses keep our community vibrant without raising your taxes. That's what we need to be doing.
Any other questions right here?
I'd like to have a follow-up question to Mr. Rear's comment, and that is, he was saying they aren't getting as much money from Meadowlands as they thought they would. Was Meadowlands giving any tax abatements?
The question was the Meadowlands project given any tax abatements? And to the best of my knowledge, there were no tax abatements granted. And I think from my personal observation, one of the biggest skepticisms that everybody had would be the community would begin to disintegrate with the addition of Walmart and Home Depot. And I believe that our community has benefited from their presence. Traffic seems to be flowing. I think that the residents from other communities travel into Chardon, and I think the whole project worked out very well, and we're receiving revenues to benefit us. And you're going to see further development because new stores are going to be going in there. So I think you'll see it's going to benefit all of us.
I'll just reinforce what Phil said. It is true that there's no tax abatement for that development. In fact, those developers spent a considerable amount of money to build us a new road, which, as those who have used it, it serves as sort of a bypass to direct traffic from Water Street to Center Street. So I think it's very beneficial. That didn't cost anything. And in fact, that people are now spending money in Chardon, and we're instead of spending money in Lake County. There are some additional jobs that were generated by it, so I think all in all that development was beneficial for the city of Chardon.
Regretfully, I have to decline to answer the question, as I wasn't a part of council at the time. Any information I have will be secondhand, and I would prefer not to have information.
Any other questions? Oh, there are more. Back in the back row, Deborah O'Connor.
My question is just almost more a comment. I think the issue that we're talking about here is the state eliminated personal property taxes, which means that all the personal property that's within the Walmart store or any other stores is not benefiting the schools or anyone else because of a change in the state legislature. So all about like property taxes have lost that avenue of support. It doesn't have anything to do with tax abatement. It has to do with tax on the goods and the property within stores. We expected Walmart would have all kinds of benefit for local people. It didn't because the legislature took that source of income away. So it's not a matter of tax abatement. It's a legislative change that affected all of us who have levies on the ballot. We'll never collect that money again.
One more question right over here.
I was wondering what they thought the best use for the building. I don't know if it was one or two that were saved from the wrecking ball when they were going to take it down or expand across from the municipal building. What they thought would be the best use for those buildings.
The question was, what would be the best use for the buildings that were not demolished? Which in Chardon is known as the old Nolan plumbing building. I think the best use, which I've supported, is the creation of an arts center that the Chardon field. They're our tenant, and they're going to create. We've given them a $1 rent of that, and they're going to be creating an arts facility that will greatly benefit the city. I've been in support of that. I think that with the parking lot is instrumental in providing much needed parking for businesses on the square. It's been something they've asked for a long time, but we're going to use that building, I think, to greatly benefit and the people of Chardon. An art center, coupled with the theater itself, will all help to attract businesses or help attract people to the businesses that are on the square.
It's a good question. I think it is interesting to note that I voted not to allow the Nolan building to be used for the theater, but having had my opportunity to vote, prevailed, so I will support the development of the use of the Nolan building for the theater. I think what we need to do is watch how that develops over the next few years to see whether or not it's successful. Then we need to at least begin to address getting revenues from that building because we do own it. It was saved from demolition because that was the advice of our comprehensive planning consultant, DB Hart Company, because one of the most detrimental things to a community is a vacant lot. So we opted there, develop the parking lot behind because we didn't want to have it as a detriment to the community. So hopefully within the next 3 years, they're vibrant, they're making money, and we can rent it to them instead of giving it to them for $1, and we both benefit from that. So I think it's something that we need to watch carefully. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Michael Kilroy from the West Jaga School. Are there any other members running for West Jaga School Board? Please come up.
Hi, my name is Michael Kilroy, and I'm running for the West Geauga School Board. I'm not a professional politician. I'm a rookie running for one of 3 open spots. I lived in Chesterland since 1995. I have 2 stepchildren that are in the system. And when I first moved to Chesterland, our school district was number 1 in Northeast Ohio. By 2004, we had fallen to number 12, and as of this past year, 19. And I got involved because we were invited, a number of us, to participate in a fact committee, which we did, which enabled me to learn an awful lot about our school system. And I am a strong supporter of the school system. My background is I went to Yale University. I've got my MBA from the University of Virginia. I worked for 4 years. I've got a background in computers, skills which I think I can bring to a new school board. And my desire is to try to return the school district back to its historical standards, living within the budget that we can within our district. I don't think it's an impossibility. I think there are lots of opportunities and potential, and we are a town full of people that volunteer for scouts. I actually work with scouts, whether it's t-ball or baseball or soccer or whatever, to improve our school district, to bring it back to where it belongs, to be fiscally responsible, and as importantly, to return the trust and responsibility to the school board. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and the Senior Center for this opportunity. Again, my name is Michael Kilroy, and I am running for the West Geauga School Board. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Kilroy? Thank you very much. Last but not least, Patrick Joyce from Parkman Township trustee. Anybody else running for Parkman Township trustee?
Glad I'm not least. Hello. My name is Patrick Joyce, and I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and the Senior Center for this opportunity. 37 years old, 31 years in Geauga County. I have a wonderful wife and 3 wonderful children that I'm very thankful for. I've been a Parkman resident for 9 years. My career is in road maintenance. I've worked for the Ohio Turnpike Commission for the past 9 years. I think that's very important for Parkman right now with the road maintenance situation. My community involvement began with coaching. I've been a baseball coach for the past 5 years. I've co-chaired the Parkman Youth League for the past 2 years. I've rep to the South Dakota Baseball League for the last 2 years, and I'm secretary on the board. I am on the Geauga Police Athletic League community rep for Parkman. I'm also secretary on that board. And I'm running for Parkman trustee to increase my ability to serve, and I hope to get your vote if you're from Parkman. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Joyce? Is there anybody that I missed? Thank you all for coming. Again, I'd like to thank the seniors, everyone that works here. They do such a great job. And also thank GTV for taping us tonight. I think this will be shown next week. We don't know the date yet, so you may want to check your local newspaper if you'd like to see this. And thank you all, and good luck to all the candidates. I appreciate it. And I do apologize if I cut someone off. Shorten City Council on the last question. Would you like to come up and answer that question? I do apologize. Thank you.
And Denise, I have a mental block. I know you're an officer for the county. Which office is it? Clerk of courts. Okay. And she Our next two candidates' nights will be on Monday, October 22nd at West Geauga High School, and Thursday, the 25th at the Chardon Middle School. So encourage your friends and neighbors to come. And thank you very much. And we do need league members. It's a very good organization. Please join us. Men too. League of Women's, you know, we can have men too. Also, thanks for your
Now that speaker's
Yeah, there's moms somewhere. She
I have no idea.
sorry. Sean, focus.
Oh, God, that's great. That's great, yeah. That's a good one. Always has, always has. Hey, what was that? All right, good. At least some balls in interest. Let's go. Grab the first one you see. Go up there and grab the first one you see. That's the way to go.